Very quickly, YouTube, I want to talk to you today about looking rich versus being rich. You know, we I can have the mindset to look rich, or we can take the steps to be rich. It begins with having the mindset to follow the principles of God that He gives us in Scripture. The same money that we are using to look rich is the same money that we could be using to invest to be rich. Having your money work for you and bring increase and multiplication. Yes. You see, when we use those funds to invest and make the hard decisions to put money away to invest, then things can happen for us. Maybe you might be saying to yourself, well, I don't have the money. It takes everything I have just to live on. And I understand that. Been there, done that. But maybe, much of my life I had to work 2 jobs, okay, or even 3 jobs. Work some overtime. Get a second job. Maybe a side business, side hustle. And use those funds, those extra funds, to make your investments. Most of our clothes and shoes and other stuff that we buy, I buy it all on sale, okay? And you can do that too. Think about some of the stuff that we buy. $200 and $250 pair of shoes. Well, if we just make the decision that, hey, we're only going to spend $50, $60, maybe $70 for shoes, then we can spend the balance of that to invest. Use your extra money to buy assets. Somebody say assets. Assets. Why buy assets? Assets is something that puts money into your pocket. We're so used to buying liabilities and calling them assets, our clothes and shoes and those kind of things. Those are not assets. Those are things that deteriorate over time. So you want to buy assets and use that extra money because why? Assets, income follows assets. Say it again. Income follows assets. Assets put money in your pocket to build additional income streams, or they can buy your toys and your stuff that we so often want. Have no problem with getting stuff, okay? But really, we want to position ourselves where our assets buys our stuff as well as it makes money for us. It works for us like a soldier. Liabilities and poor. I want to talk to you a little bit about liabilities. The poor and the middle class, they call these assets, when they in fact are not assets. Those are things that take money out of your pocket. Your primary resident. If you still owe money on your primary resident, you're paying insurance and taxes and maintenance and all those kind of things, primarily it could be an asset down the road, but right now it takes money out of your pocket. Probably not an asset, okay? Timeshares. I got a timeshare. It's definitely not an asset. That's something that takes money out of your pocket every month, and every year it goes up. Businesses that do not cash flow are not assets. Cars, they depreciate, okay? Furniture, clothes, shoes, sneakers. We think about sneakers. I mentioned this earlier. We pay $200-$300 for sneakers, and usually they're Nike sneakers or Adidas, but yet the stock itself costs less than a pair of shoes that you buy. It would be nice to own some Nike stock if that's the shoes that you like to wear. Boats, RVs, jewelry, doodads and whatnots. What are doodads and whatnots? You think about the stuff that you buy just to collect dust around the house. Those are doodads and whatnots. All of us have those kind of things just sitting around the house. There's just money sitting everywhere. But those are depreciating assets. Well, that's a bad word. They are depreciating stuff that others call assets. They're really not assets. Also, vacant land that does not cash flow is not an asset. Those are liabilities. Think about assets. It is so important that we either build an asset, buy an asset, borrow an asset, create assets. It's important. Why? Because assets is something that puts money in your pocket. And all of us need a little bit of money. Because God gives us a vision, okay? And it takes funds, it takes money to support the vision, to build the vision, to enhance the vision. Cash flowing businesses. Build a business that produces income or cash flow from a product or service that can be repeated over and over again. Grow and get to the point where your business can run without you. Otherwise, you haven't really got a business. You got a job. You bought yourself a job, okay? We've all been there. You know, I had a pool and spa business that I paid a lot of money for. But at the end of the day, it became a job, and I just got tired of it. Look, I don't want to be strapped to a particular job. I mean, I left the government. I was making six figures back then. This was way back in 2002 in that time frame. And I left the government and bought a business. But when that business have you strapped to it that you can't leave, okay, or the business doesn't run properly, and you're tied to that business, then you really don't have a business. You got a job, okay? Investment income. Income from dividends, paying stocks and the bonds, gold and other precious metals, all those kind of things that we want to, once we want to invest those things, use the extra money that you got from working overtime and having your second job, invest in those things. Cash flow, rental properties, whether it be residential, multifamily, apartments, storage, and other commercial properties. These are things that produce income. Income producing assets. Say it. Income producing asset. That's what you really want. You want, whether you are sitting on the beach, laying out on the beach in Hawaii, or wherever you at, income is being produced, is working like a soldier for you. All right. Intellectual properties. Those are your books, your royalties, inventions, licensing deals, music. These are assets. Your pension. Okay. You know, you've worked long. You know, and that's the thing about pensions. I do have a couple pensions because I spent time in the military, spent time in civil service, and so it pays you every month, okay? But a lot of jobs today, the pensions are going away. They may offer a 401k program or a 403b program, but they don't offer pensions, and that's a lot of jobs that you have to depend on Social Security for your money. They don't offer a retirement program. That was a big shift where it really back in the 70s and 80s. A lot of companies stopped offering pension programs. Assets equal income. Assets equal income. I'm going to say it again. Assets equal income. That's why I keep talking about assets. Get yourself some assets. How many of you want to increase your income or your cash flow? If you want to increase your income and cash flow, increase your assets. If you're not making enough money, you don't have enough cash flow, then you don't have enough assets. Little assets, little income. Increased assets, increased income. More assets, more income. Bigger and bigger assets, bigger and bigger income. Stop collecting liabilities and collect assets. Stop collecting liabilities and calling them assets. Collect assets that produce income. Make your assets buy your liabilities if that's what you want. Make your assets buy your cars. Or they can buy shoes and they can buy vacations and the things that you want. Your assets can do that. Assets make you income and give you freedom. Somebody say freedom. Freedom. That's what we're looking for, particularly as we get older. Our time is so valuable, okay? Because, when you don't have assets, you basically work as someone else's asset, okay? And they want you there at a specific time, and they're going to tell you when you can go to lunch and when you are able to go home. Why? Because they want you to build their asset, okay? Hey, we got to get to a point where we're doing more than that. Let's talk about Wall Street for a minute. Wall Street refers to the entire investment and financial industry and is the trading hub for the world's largest economy, the USA. Wall Street has a tremendous impact on the entire world's financial system. If the U.S. financial system has a headache or has a cold, everyone else, all the world sneezes and have problems. There are big issues, okay? So U.S. has to really do the right thing. The stock market, okay? Most of you would agree that the big money is controlled by Wall Street. Big hedge funds, big owners, companies, billionaires, and trillionaire companies that own the entire industries. At the end of the day, stocks are primarily paper assets, not hard, tangible assets. Paper assets, what are they? They're the stocks, they're bonds, they're options, cryptocurrencies, or anything else that you don't physically own but represent a value of some type. I like hard assets. hard asset, something that you can touch, something that is tangible. You can ride by, you can walk on it. You know, God gives us his earth. The earth is a tangible asset. Land, that's the earth. It's a tangible asset. Your 401k plans and 403b plans both invest in soft or paper assets associated with the stock and bond market. Now, let's talk quickly about current events, and I'm going to go ahead and close this session out. Current events. Wall Street, pretty much they own the stock market. They own that whole paper industry. Okay, they own most of the commercial properties. You see these big skyscrapers and stuff. Those are not owned by individuals. Those are owned by huge corporations, huge banks, hedge funds, you know, big insurance company conglomerates. Okay, but see, now Wall Street, you got to hear this. You got to hear this. Wall Street is now buying single family homes as rentals. You know, even in my community in Daytona Beach, they're building these communities of new homes, not to sell. They're building new homes specifically to rent out. And I was wondering, why are they doing that? This don't make sense. Well, this is why they're doing it. Private equity firms, BlackRock, Amazon, are all starting and entering in the single family market. And I believe they want us to become a renter nation. Say that, renter nation. Ooh, I don't want that for my kids. I don't want that for my grandkids or my great grandkids. I want them to own hard assets. I want them to own a home. I want them to own a duplex or a fourplex or apartment building. I want them to own some earth. Why? Because those are hard, tangible assets. Big companies and equity firms should not be the only ones that own hard assets. They say it's because more people are deciding that they want to have the best of both worlds. What is that? They want the flexible lifestyle of the renter with no maintenance commitments, and they want their privacy of living in a single family home. Well, to me, that's the narrative that's being pushed. But really, what I believe that the thing they really want to do is they want the U.S. to be a renter nation. A renter nation. I believe this is a trick of Wall Street to further plant the seed of complacency for the American public, while they are poised to take over the asset class in the years to come for huge profits. It's all motivated by money. Huge profits. Don't become a renter nation. Don't let your kids become a renter nation. Okay, get to the point where not only do you own a home, but you own a second home and a third home and a fourth home. You got 4 kids, you need to at least own 5 homes, okay? 1 for each kid, and still you need to have 1. The word says a good man, therefore a good woman, leaves an inheritance to their children's children. We want to leave them a piece of the earth, hard assets. Leave them a home. Leave them cash-producing assets. I told you I would be short. Remember this. This is Dr. Leon K. McCray. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. God bless you. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. Go ahead and send it to your friends. Share it. God bless you and keep you.